Hey guys, welcome to yet another webinar of DeDupe. Thanks for joining in, guys. Just a few seconds and then we can start off. Just let everyone join in and then we can start with the with today's session. Okay, so I think everyone who would be joining has joined, and then people who would be joining us can join from the middle of the session. So let's just start off, right? So I welcome you all to our yet another exciting webinar on the new release of DeDupeD app. I am Ranjana Verma, and I am going to take you through the entire journey of how DeDupeD can help you have a proper system wherein you can manage your duplicates and merge them on a mass level, right? So in this webinar of ours we have added some new features like fuzzy matching, and then there is master record selections and much more that I would be taking you through as we move ahead with this webinar, right? So before we start off with the webinar, just let me give you an overview of the logistics. All lines would be muted throughout the session. If you have any questions, any doubts, anytime, you can just ping or type it in the chat box, and I will be answering you at the end of the webinar during our Q&A session. Okay. Now, before we start off with the actual demonstration of DeDupeD and other things, I just want to take a few seconds of yours and give you an overview of Inogic. Okay. So Inogic, as you all or some of you would know, is a leading ISV solution provider. We are into business since a decade now, more than a decade, in fact. We have somewhere around 15 plus productivity apps that you can see over here, some of which are recently added, that is WhatsApp for Dynamics, which is an integration to of WhatsApp and Dynamics 365 CRM. Then we have SharePoint Security Sync that not only migrates your attachment but also takes care of the security aspects of it, right? Similarly, we have in different categories, we have different apps that might resonate with you. If you guys want to know more about any of these apps, we can connect one to one. You can reach out to us at crm@inogic, and I can take the discussion for further. Apart from these productivity apps, we are also a system integrator. So we help our partners and our clients for offshore development as well. So if there's any requirement in terms of servicing, again, we have a department and you can reach out to us. So that was all about Inogic as a whole. Now let's go through the agenda real quick, and then we can jump on to the main event of the day. So the agenda would be first to understand what are the challenges and why do we need DeDupeD in the very first place. What are its key features, and then see those key features in live action, followed by the general FAQ and Q&A sessions, right? So let's just get started. So in simple terms, if I had to tell you what is DeDupe, so DeDupe is a data hygiene app that detects, prevents, and merge duplicate records in Dynamics 365 CRM. Okay. So why do we need, or what are the challenges that we have is very important to us. So let's just understand why do we need DeDupe, right? So as companies, through various fronts, people interact with us. And as a general rule, any interaction is noted in our CRM, okay, in the form of leads, accounts, support tickets, anywhere, right? And on an average, if you see any of your databases, there would be 20 to 30% of duplicate rate present in your database, right? And that not only affects the quality of your data, the integrity and consistency, but it also occupies certain space. And when you are evaluating or deriving inferences out of it, it may or may not affect your decision making based on the data, because it is not very clear or it is not very accurate, right? And over the period of time, big companies or big multiplex companies, MNCs, usually face a loss of somewhere around 13 million a year because of this redundant data or this duplicate data, right? On the contrary, if you clear those up, then there is, a percentage, or, a possibility of 66% surge in your revenue if you just maintain that data quality with you, right? So data is the new age currency, as we all know, and that is why this matrix makes much more sense, right? So if I take a very simple example, like I said earlier, that clients or any lead that comes to us interacts with us via various medium. We have this John Richard over here. So he has interacted with us via three different medium. My marketing team sends out newsletters day in and day out. And if he has interacted somewhere, he is in our system under marketing, campaign responses, and other things, right? So there is one lead just under marketing. Then comes the sales part, that is mine. So we have somewhere around 15 products, and if he has also, inquired about two or three of them, again a lead is created for the salesperson, and the salesperson is working on it, right? Similarly, while evaluating any one of our tools or any one of our services, he might have came across some or the other bug, and then he might need support from us. Now, the support team is also working with John Richard over here. So, here, John Richard is interacting with us with marketing, sales, and support all together, all at once. And there is this three data that is present in my system, right? So, this is just one example of John Richard being present in my system multiple times. Imagine this happening, over the period of time. So over 10 to 15 years, if you clear up your data, you will have thousands, hundred and thousands of, your duplicates being present in your system. So that is the question, how do you eliminate it? And for that, we have created DeDupeD, right? So without any further ado, let me just share my demo instance, and let's just get started with the functional demonstration, what we are here for, right? So if you see, I am in the leads entity over here, and this is one lead, that is Simon, that has came to me as a new lead over here. Now, as soon as I start working on it, I see there is this form notification that is present on my form. So I don't actually have to, search that with this notification over here, I know that there's already duplicate present. And now what are those duplicates? I can just click on the simple button, show duplicates over here, just on your ribbon bar, and it will give me a form explaining everything. So here, this is the current record that I'm currently working on, right? This is these are the duplicate records that are present in my system under under Simmons. And if you see carefully, there is this Gary Chase as well. Now you might, ask me that Simon is a different name, Gary is a different name. Why have you termed them as duplicates, right? So for duplicate matching rules or for duplicate matching conditions, you can create multiple of these conditions. Here in this case, I have put in a condition for email addresses. So the email addresses should exactly match, and then only you can say that this particular lead or this particular record is a duplicate record. And don't you worry, I would be taking you through the configuration part in the later half, so you don't have to worry. This is just for your reference. So here you see all my duplicates are listed, and over here there is contacts as well listed. Okay, so Simon, under Simon as a lead, this particular email, there are two contacts also present. So what we give you is a cross entity matchup as well, or a detection as well, so that you know how good your system is or how many records or redundant data you have in all, right? So this gives me an understanding that this is not the first time Simone has interacted with my company. She already knows something about it, and my subordinates might have reached out to her or spoken to her in the previous months. So what I can do is, as a person, I want to merge this so that Simone Riley in my entire system, and it should have all the necessary records and all the related records as well. So what you got to do is you have to select them. You can select one by one as well. Let's say you don't want to merge this one, the rest of the three you want to merge. So you can select one by one. You can pick and choose how you want, and click on this merge button over here, right? So when you click on this merge button, it is going to show you the preview of how the final lead or the final, work would look like. So here you have the preview. This one is the master, the one that you're working on. And these are the subordinates, right? Now here all your fields are present, which are filled. You can pick and choose which one you want to choose, right? So here, I suppose this is the phone number that is most correct for me. So I can just click on this and you see in the preview section, it has added this one, right? Now here there is just manager, whereas she is project manager. So I can choose this field for now, right? So in this case, you can actually the purpose or the topic. So rather than Mapletics, she is interested in dedupe. So I can just click on this dedupe one. So I can pick and choose which fields I want in the master or in the final product or the final record, and then click on this finish over here. So it is going to give you one pop-up saying that, once you merge these records, it cannot be undone. Okay. And this will go in the deactivated state. So if you want to do that, if you still want to do that, you go ahead and click on continue over here. And in the background, it is going to merge. Now, when we talk about merging, it is just not merging the, simple fields that are not present or that are present. That is not simple merging. What we do is there are with this particular record or the subordinate records, there were certain data that could be associated or certain activities that could be associated, right? The tasks, there could be phone calls, there could be email that have run in that were in the background for different of my subordinate data, right? So while this is merging, this is not only merging the fields, but it is also merging the respective records or associated records along with the activities, right? So that is why it might take some time, but yeah, this is how it works. So now let me just refresh and check if it has merged completely or not, right? So let me just, yeah. Still, if you see, there is this, duplicate detection or, there's already a duplicate present in your system. This notification is still there. So let me just check why it is there, right? So when you click on show duplicates, you'll understand that the leads are cleared because we have just now merged it, right? We have just now modified it at 8:45 p.m. That is my time, right? But however, the contacts are still present. So the cross entity is still happening. So if you want to, if you want to merge them, you can go ahead in the contact section and merge them so that this notification gets cleared up, right? So yeah, this is how it works in the UI. So this is basically when I'm working day in and day out as a salesperson, as a sales manager, I find something and I then merge it right on the go within few seconds, right? So this was on the go method. But you might ask me that you have, years and years of data, and I said that there are hundreds and thousands of duplicates that are present in the system, not only just, 5 or 6 when we say that, right? So how do we clear up the maximum data or the chunk of data that we have? So for that, for mass merging, what we have is something called as, DeDupeD app. Now this app works outside of CRM. It is a Windows tool, and all you have to do is just log in through your CRM credentials. That's it. And you will be able to see this simple UI over here, wherein in this case you will have all your entities listed, right? So whichever entities you have configured, based on that, the entity would be listed. So here we have lead and contacts. I'm right now just choosing lead over here and then a respective view against it, right? So I'm just choosing open lead as a view. Now let me show you in the CRM also real quick so that we have, a comparison kind of thing. So here as well, if I go on open leads view, I have somewhere around 109 leads over here, right? The same is reflected over here. When I click on find duplicate, what is this going to do is this is going to scan the entire system of mine. Okay. And this is going to scan the entire system for this 109 leads in all leads section. Okay. So this is just checking the entire thousands and thousands of leads that I have in the system for this 109 leads. Once the scanning is done, it is going to give me a summarized view. So you see, for this 109 leads, there are 79 duplicates that have been found in the entire system. Okay. Not only just in my open leads, but in the entire system. And then they have been grouped for easy visualization. So they have been grouped on their name basis for an easy visualization over here, right? And again, we support cross entity as well. So you would see cross entity or different entities here as well. Now, if you want to search for any specific record of yours, you can just type in, use the search bar for your reference for, just searching some specific records of yours. And then in terms of merging, again, you can select one group at a time if you want, or you can select the entire 29 group all at once and mass merge them. So it is again pick and choose kind of thing wherein you decide which group you want to merge and how do you want to merge. But this is the option that we have given right now. Secondly, if you see in all of these groups, the master is pre-termed. Okay. The master is pre-termed, rest of them are subordinates. So let's say if I want this to be a master, the 10, 16th modified one, if I want them to be the master, what I can do is I can just click on my make master and it has changed itself. But there would be a question of, how do you term anything as master? How do you know that this should be a master and this should be subordinate? So in the configuration section, I would be explaining that in much more detail. But for now, let me just select entire 29 together and mass merge them. Okay. And this pop-up again would, ask you because this is going to go in the deactivate state. So do you want to really go ahead or not? If you say yes, it is going to go ahead and merge all the duplicate records in the background. Now, this is going to take time because it is not only merging the fields, but the related records and the activities and other things. So this is going to take time. While this is happening, let me take you to the configuration. The one thing that I'm constantly telling you that I will take you to the configuration. I will take you to the configuration. This is the configuration that we are waiting for. Now, for in the table in this over here, we saw that there were only two of my entities present. The reason is I have configured only for two entities, but you can configure for n number of entities, and it could be custom entities as well as out of box entities. So there's no restriction. Throughout the journey, I have been working on lead in this entire webinar, but be rest assured, if you have any custom entity as well, it works just the same. So now let me open this up for you. Okay, so lead. Now let me first take you to the matching rule because that is what we saw in the matching rule section. So here I have created a matching rule or a condition over here which says that the email address should exactly match in order to term them as duplicates. Okay. Similarly, we have other methods as well, matching methods, right? So here in the attribute, you need to select the primary entity field, that is name, and then the entity field that you want to match up to. So again, I'm selecting name and name, right? And what should be the matching criteria? Whether it should exactly match in order to term them as, a duplicate, the first n characters, last n characters, contains. So these are the ones that you see day in and day out. These are the common ones. We have recently introduced something called as fuzzy also. Now, fuzzy is something that eliminates your human error. So while we are typing or while anybody is typing, there could be a chance that you misspell something, right? There could be double A's or double U or something like that, and it is just minor misspell. And if you keep it on exact, it is going to exactly match, and that fuzzy one would never be caught, right? So for that, we have something called as fuzzy, wherein your spell checks are done and the typo is taken care. So if you want to do that, you can choose the fuzzy as an option. This is something new that we have introduced, and click on save and close. This is how you create a duplicate matching condition. Okay, so I'm not doing it right now, but yes, you can go ahead and do that, right? So and here you can put n number of matching conditions and they will work under and condition. Okay, that is the email should exactly match, then the phone number should exactly match. If all of them are satisfied, then only the lead would be considered as, or a record is considered as duplicate. Okay. Now let me take you to the general tab or the entity configuration over here. Right. So if you, and now comes the master deciding rule, right? How do you decide the masters? Who should be the master over here in the tool? So here we have these all options which can be termed as master. So if you want the latest modified one to be master, you can do that. If you want the first one to be first one that you had modified in the past to be the master, you can select that. So latest created, oldest created, you can select all of these, or my personal two of these are favorite ones. One is the most field value. That is, in any record wherein the most field values are filled in, you can select that as a master. Or the last one, that is most activities on. So the record which has most number of activities, it could be phone calls, it could be tasks, emails, appointments, anything. So you can select those as the master. Or if none of these actually resonate with you guys, so then we have something called as criteria based, wherein you can go in your CRM with the advanced find option, have your own filtration fixed, and then put that fetch XML over here, paste it over here, and it is going to, honor that fetch XML and term the respective record as the master record. Okay. So this is how it happens. And this is the place where you decide. Now, while this is happening, let's see what happened with our tool. So it has successfully merged 29 records, 29 group of ours. If you want to see what happened in the background, you can just select this, as an option as well. Like if you want to download the XML file or Excel file, you can do that as well. So let me just show you how the Excel file looks like. And don't worry, because the same has been reflected in your CRM as well. So this is just for your reference. The Excel file, if you want it, you can keep it, right? So here you will have merge status. If it is a failure, it would term you as a failure, and with this record ID, you will be able to find it in your CRM. So this is just for reference how it is going to look like, right? Now, let me just show you in the CRM as well how what happened. So this was open leads that we were on. There were 109 data or record. When I click on refresh, it is going to, because the tool is linked to the CRM, it is going to refresh itself and give you the new number, or the merge or unique values here. So it is going to take some time because my internet is a little weak here. But yeah, let's just give the solution a few seconds. Right. So here you see there are 30 records that are unique records that are present. 29 of them merged in this UI over here, and then one Simon Riley that we merged directly on the CRM, right? So there are these 30 of them. So far what we have seen is first, on the go, how do you merge it within the CRM? If you have bulk data to be merged, you can use the historic, you can use this DeDupe app and do it, use the, clear up your historical data. Now what happens if all of this is clear? Now, how do we future proof our system, right? So let me just open Simone Riley because we were working on that. So let's just search for her. Let me just open this up and create a duplicate. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to create another lead under Simone Riley's email. Let's say, let's see how it is going to restrict me, right? So I click on this Simone Riley over here and let me just fill in. Yeah. So as soon as I have typed in the email, because email is the matching criteria, it has given me a pop-up saying that why are you creating a new record? Because there's already a record present in your system under the same name, under the same email ID rather, right? So if you click as a salesperson, you go ahead and click on ignore and then again try to, save it. So let me just fill in the important part. Here. And click on save. Again, it is going to give me a pop-up saying that there's already a lead existing. So why do you want to create, right? But this time, instead of ignore, it is going to give me ignore and save, right? So this is another of our feature. So let's say sometimes you have to create a duplicate, which is a very necessary thing. I am a salesperson. My CEO is a different person, and she might want to, work on Simon Riley as a lead separately, right? In that case, we need to have two different duplicates present in our system, one that I am working on and one that she is working on. The deals could be different, but again, she might want to work separately and the lead should be created, a duplicate should be created, right? So in that case, you can click on this save and ignore and save, and it is going to go ahead and create that record for you. Now, the second question that you asked me is, if you are giving this ignore and save button, everybody would do that and we will be, kind of back to square one. So how do we tackle that? So yeah, just a second. Yeah. So this is the configuration over here, right? So in this is the client side one. So here, if you see, there is this authorization of ignore as well. So whom do you want to create duplicates in your system? So the roles that you select over here from this drop down will be the only people who are able to ignore and create duplicates in your system, right? Same goes with merging as well. In case you don't want everyone in your system to go ahead and merge the things, you want only some of the people to merge it. So you can use this option again, wherein you can select your sales managers, system admins, and other people. All the roles are listed over here. You select which one should be authorized to do these two functions, that is merging and then creating duplicates as well. Similarly, there are these three options wherein the pop-up should notify. So the notification should always be on the form. That is, this one. So this notification should always be on the form. And then if you are changing any field or if you're saving your data, the pop-up should automatically come, right? So as soon as I click on save, this gives me a pop-up by default saying that, there's already a lead present in your system. So why do you want to create a new one, right? So this is the client side one, wherein you can restrict whom do you want to ignore and whom do you want to merge and which roles should that be, right? So this was, so far what we have seen is, clearing up the historical data, then future proofing it from the user perspective. I am a system user and I should not be able to create any new lead. Hence, this one is given, this particular option is given of ignore and save. But what if, your leads come through a different server altogether, right? So if anybody has filled up a form on social media or website, the lead is automatically created. So in that case, how do you restrict it? So for that, we have something called as server side duplicate settings, wherein you can select that any new record or any existing record has been created again from the server's end, it should be restricted. Okay. And when this is restricted, what happens is in the error log, you are able to see that, someone, the lead was trying to be created, but since you have the parent already present in your system, it has restricted itself, right? And if you want to, more customize it, you can write a flow wherein in the timeline section over here, any new lead is created. It should, yeah, it should actually, just, yeah, it should actually, come up as an attachment there in the timeline section. So that customization is also present and we can help you in the later stage if you want, right? So this way you are not only uh, future proofing your system from the foreground, but also from the background itself, from the server's end as well, right? So this is all I have to show when it comes to dedupe as a whole app. That is, future proofing the system, clearing up the historical data, and doing it for both out of box as well as the custom entities of yours, right? But still, if you have any questions, any doubts, you can put it in the chat window. I'll answer it for you right now. Or if you want a separate session based on your use case, because we understand every business is very different. So based on your use case, we can have a separate session, and I can, answer all your queries there, and we can have a one-to-one session basically, right? So as a next step, let's see all the key features that we have discussed so far. Just a summarization. So you see that duplicate identification on demand and then the form notification, both of them were present. If you want to merge them, you can merge them through the UI itself. If you want to clear up your historical data, you can do that as well. And then preventing the duplication from foreground as well as background is also there, right? And then we have something new, that is the fuzzy match. That is also, I have showed you how it is. And yeah, so these were all the features that we discussed today. And just the deployment part. So Deduped is present on, for both the deployments, that is online as well as on premise. And it is also available for Microsoft Dataverse, right? So how do we get started? It is very simple. Our app is listed on App Source. You can go ahead and just download it and have a 15 days trial, work around it, play around it, and give us the feedback. The second option could be you reach out to us through this email, crm@inogic, and we connect one-to-one, have the discussion, get the demos done, and then probably help you with the setup of the thing so that you can start off with the evaluation, right? Now let's see if we have any questions in the chat box. If there is, I would be happy to answer. If not, then we can, okay, so we have quite a few. So would this also be merging case at this time as well as for contacts? No, for cross entity, that is, I think John has asked. So John, for cross entities, no, you cannot merge them on the go. You have to go on the contact section. There again, you will have that pop-up. You can, select all your contacts and merge them separately. Does this override the out of box? Yes. So for this, actually, what you have to do is you have to, I am answering Mike's question. So do you have to override the out of box duplicate detection? So yes, you have to. Actually, you have to, disable that in order to dedupe for work, because then it would be conflicting and then, there would be problems. So it's better. And it is also advised that you turn off the out of box duplicate detection and work with deduped ones. Right. Is downloading CSV file way to see errors? No, it is not. Yeah, matlab, yes, it is. You can actually see it on the failure and success rate, and then you can also see it in the CRM as well. We can connect Rian on a separate call, and I will be able to answer you in much more detail. Okay. And will there be two merge button on the contact record, one from Microsoft and one from Inogic? Like I said, no, it won't be, because it is advised that you have to actually disable the out of box duplicate detection in order to in order for us to work, right? So that the system is much more clear. Yeah. Look at inactive at the same time to make sure all contacts. Yes, we do have in the configuration part, we do have a option of selecting inactive data as well. So when you tick on that, what would happen is your inactive data would also be taken care, and then you can merge them together. So yeah, considering inactive is also an option in the configuration part, right? So I think I have answered most of them, but if you have Could you demo that, please? Okay, John, so right now I cannot demo that, but we can connect on a separate call and maybe I can, show you one to one. That if that is possible, we can connect tomorrow or someday whenever you are available and we can, discuss on it if that is fine, right? Okay, and I think Lian was typing and then okay. So yeah, Lian, we can again, we can have a Q&A separately. If you have more questions, I would be more than happy to connect separately on a 10 to 15 minutes call and give you the entire overview or a questionnaire session on that. So we can do that as well. Yeah. And let me just share my screen. Now I'm just opening up a quick poll, okay, wherein it is really important for us to understand which of these features resonated with you guys. So please answer the polls as per your, likings. Which feature did you like and what did you like more? It would be really helpful for us. So I'm just taking a few minutes for this poll. It would be great if if you guys can give your feedbacks to us. Thank you so much for, you know, okay. So a lot of people liked fuzzy matching. That is great. Merge duplicates. Okay, great. Clearing up the historical records. Yes, the app that we have. Yes. Okay. Right. Right. So I think we have 8 responses. That is, we are right now 8 people. So thank you so much for responding this poll. And yeah, I think we are at the end of our session. Just few frequently asked questions that I would, just give you a idea on. So can we clear up the historical duplicate records? Yes, via app that we have provided. Can we merge the duplicates? Yes, you can do it through the UI or you can do through the app. It is up to you. Then does it work on Dataverse? Yes, it does work. And which all entities do we support? So we support both of them out of box as well as custom entities, right? And how do we get started? So it is very simple. We have 15 days trial. We are listed on App Source. You can go ahead, download our latest solution and start working on it. Or reach out to us and we'll be happy to connect, right? And the last one, thank you so much. It has been absolute pleasure uh, discussing this tool with you and demonstrating this tool with you. I would really like some of you to, have a one-to-one session wherein I will be more than happy to answer your questions. But thank you so much for joining, guys. It has been a pleasure. And if you have any questions, just reach out to us on crm@inogic.com. I'll be happy to assist you. Until then, take care. Have a great day ahead. And yeah, I'll see you in the next webinar.